the Grad Guys Podcast, the show that demystifies the competency-based interview process and settles interview anxiety by providing you with direction, guidance and support so you can interview with confidence. Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 6 of the Grad Guys Podcast. In this episode, we're going to discuss the really common feeling of having a lack of direction after you finish university and ways in which you can overcome this. As ever, I've got my colleague Pete with me. Hello, Pete. Good to have you back on the podcast again and discussing this with you. How are you?
Hello. Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Good. I had a good week and raring to go.
Awesome stuff. Right, so yeah, as we've said, this is about lack of direction, and I think it's really important at the moment to sort of put it out there to the listeners that this is something that's really common. A lot of people experience this and feel like this after university, so I think there's probably a lot of people out there that will empathize with what we're discussing here today, and they'll be going through a similar kind of thing. So Pete, in your experience, why is this such a common thing? Why do people get this feeling of lacking direction once they've finished university, once they've graduated, or they're taking their first steps into the big wide world? What do you think? Why are people feeling like that?
Yeah, I mean, first thing to say, it is daunting, isn't it? You're leaving university, you're leaving your comfort zone, basically. You set your life up around a structure, and then all of a sudden it's gone. So, and then you have to find a new direction. Like university is very structured. Your life's basically been structured up to that phase. You do your life's kind of mapped out academically. If you choose to go down the academic route, it's mapped out, isn't it? It's like you do your GCSEs, then you do your A levels, then you do your degree. And then it's like, oh, what do I do? I mean, you can stay in academia if you want, but I guess a lot of people at that stage choose to go out to the world of work. And it's like that. The path becomes a lot less clear after university. There isn't essentially a kind of linear pathway that you have after uni. It's like you suddenly out into the world of jobs, and it's a lot less clear cut what to do and where to go. So it's no wonder people feel like that. Sometimes you need to be creative about how you get to where you want to be, and it's a lot less A to B. So I'm not surprised that like people feel like they have a lack of direction. And the thing is, at university as well, it's like it's a great atmosphere. Like most people hopefully have had a great time at university. There's lots of clubs, activities to do.
It's very sociable, isn't it?
It's sociable. Yeah, it's great. I mean, you're surrounded by positive people that want to achieve, and it's a lovely atmosphere. And unfortunately, it's not always that way when you enter the world of work. That's just how it is. It's not always like that when you leave university. And again, yeah, it can seem like, wow, where do I go from here? Because it's suddenly like you haven't got that clear path anywhere. So I think that's why people end up feeling with a lack of direction.
Yeah, some really good points there, Pete. Totally agree with you there. It's almost like you've come onto a bit of road, and there's like 100 different ways you could take it. It's a bit like Spaghetti Junction. There's numerous roads you could take, numerous paths you could go down, and It's like you're just kind of so much going on in your head. You're like, well, which one do I do? What do I do? I think as well, reality starts to hit home, doesn't it? You come out of university, like you say, everything's structured. You've had that clear set, task ahead of you, or it's like, right, I've got this assignment to hand in, I've got this is my deadline, this is that, everything's clear cut. Whereas you come out into the big wide world, reality does hit home. It can be daunting. It's like, whoa, hang on a minute, I've now got to try and get a job. It's actually not that easy. You start to soon realize you're not the only one with those qualifications. It's like, yeah, okay, well done, you've got your degree now, but join the queue like everyone else. You need to start thinking, what's going to set me apart from the competition out there? It can be really daunting, and you can really feel like you're lacking that direction. So I think that's a big part of it as well, that reality hitting home. And perhaps it wasn't what you expected. People might not have really thought about that until that moment they do leave and they do actually actively have to start looking for a job. I think as well, for some people, they might have felt pushed into doing the degree in the first place. You know, a lot of people feel almost obliged to go to university, don't they? It's almost whether it's a cultural thing, perhaps parents have been pushy, perhaps it's just a done thing you do in your family, or your mates have done it. So you think, well, I'm going to do it. I don't know what else to do. And then it's when you leave uni, you think, well, I didn't actually want to do that, and now I've got this degree, and do I actually want to use it? What am I going to do with it? And it can be really confusing for people, I think, can't it?
Yeah, I mean, I know. I won't name any names. I'm sure they wouldn't appreciate it, but I know loads of people that did a degree that they didn't really want to do, and they suddenly come out and go, what am I going to do now? Because I didn't really want to do this. I don't really want to go into that line of work. I now feel a bit lost because had no real intention of doing like anything in this world. I did it because I either parents wanted me to do it, or I felt that I should do it because, that sounds like a good degree. That sounds like a degree that will get me far. But then all of a sudden the reality hits home of, well, I don't really want to work in that area though. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, it happens.
I definitely think that reality does come home to you at that stage.
Yeah, I mean, I know someone, again, not going to name names, but, you know, they end up studying veterinary. And yeah, I get the feeling they were pushed into it quite a bit by their parents or the family, and, you know, came out of university, did it for 6 months, realised it wasn't for them, and then took a graduate scheme job for a large retail company. So, you know, it does happen. And again,
at what point did they realise they didn't want to be a vet, when the cat was crawling over their head, or like, I love that realisation. No, I don't want to be a vet anymore.
Yeah, but you know, we joke and we jest, but it does happen. It does happen out there. You know, and that's okay. It's okay to put your hand up and say it's not for me. You know, there's still a lot, and we'll discuss this later. There's still a lot of transferable skills and qualities and things you would have learned from that academic process that you can then, you know, transfer into another role or another career.
Definitely.
Cool. So, yeah, we've gone through, you know, why people lack direction and stuff like that. So let's now look at, you know, how to find that direction if you are lacking that, or you feel like you don't really know what to do. So I think a really good thing to do is to be a bit self-critical, have a look at yourself, you know, be more self-aware. We've spoke about self-awareness in previous episodes, but it's really worth reiterating because it is such an important part of this process. So look at, you know, what are my skills? What am I good at? What are my passions? What are my strengths? But also you need to understand your weaknesses as well, because you need to improve on that and develop, as we've discussed before in other episodes as well. It's also about values. We've mentioned this time and time again. You know, your values need to align with what roles you're going for, what jobs you want to look at. What do you stand for as an individual? What do you find meaningful as you progress into your career? What do you want to do? Something meaningful? Do you want to wake up every day and go to something and actually feel like you're doing something worthwhile? I know I personally do. I don't know you feel the same, Pete. So I think these are really key things that people need to start thinking about when they are looking at trying to understand what direction they want to take. Have you got anything else you think people need to be looking at here?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're absolutely right. What do you find meaningful? It's like, you got to have, if you want a successful, sustained career, you've got to find something that you find meaningful. And that doesn't always mean you've got to go out and, like, I don't know, rescue like injured dogs or whatever. It can mean anything. Like, people find different things meaningful. Like, I know people that entrepreneurs that find that very meaningful because they generate money for the economy. They employ people and they find that very meaningful. I know people that work in Tesco's and they find it very meaningful. It's what you find meaningful, because every job and career has some element of meaning to it. And don't let other people tell you that a certain job doesn't have any meaning or it's valueless. Every job and work has meaning in it. It's what you find meaningful. But yeah, I mean, other things is like, I can't have a real think about it. Like, can you actually see yourself working in an office? Because if you can't, don't sort of venture down that avenue. Like, and you might get to the stage when you're a bit older that you want to work in office. But like right now, do you really want to work in an office? You might do. Do you like to travel? Think about things like that. Like, and then all these sort of careers will start coming into your mind. Think about what you enjoy doing, what you find meaningful. Do you want to be out and about? Do you want to work with people, or does that thought fill you with horror? Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's like, yeah, working with people, for some people, it sounds awful. They just want to work on without that, and that's fine. And again, this is very much a personal thing. This is why we emphasize about you self-assessing what you want out of things, because you're the one ultimately that is going to be doing these things, and the world of work, the careers, it's a long time. It's a long time that you're at work, and you spend a lot of time there. So you've got to find something that you find meaningful, and then through that you'll get more fulfillment out of it. Like we said in the last episode 5. Vision boards can really help with this. Like putting out your vision once you've thought about what you want, what sort of work you want, where you want to be, and put it down. Get those pictures up on the board, and then put it up on the wall so you see it, and then there's your direction. You're aiming for something, because like you say, at university you have task, you have goal, and you have achieve, and that's what humans like, don't they? They like task, goal, achieve, done. It's like they like those set targets.
We're programmed to be like that, aren't we? And yeah, I would really strongly recommend anyone that's not checked out episode 5, have a look at it. We do go into detail about vision boards and how they can be a really powerful tool to help you achieve your goals and get to where you want to be. Yeah, some really, really good points there, Pete. I think another thing as well, we're talking about direction, but you need to be a bit flexible, don't you? I'm a bit of a dreamer, and I like to think ahead, and horizon scanning is probably the buzzword you'd use. But I like to think ahead. What's happening over the next sort of decade to 2 decades? What's up and coming? What's society going to look like? How is that going to impact the job market? All these kind of things. So we look at things that are up and coming, sort of automation. The advent of AI and robotics and all these kind of things. The job market's going to change hugely, whether you're a graduate or you're not a non-graduate. Jobs are going to change, roles are going to change, and you need to be flexible. It may well be that your ideal dream job literally just hasn't been created yet. It doesn't exist. I mean, how many people 15 years ago, we didn't even know what a YouTuber was? Someone like kids now, when I grow up, I want to be a YouTuber. I mean, we didn't even know what that was. An influencer, that wasn't even a thing. So all these jobs with the advent of technology, there's constantly new jobs coming out, new roles being created, and little niches that emerge in these different sectors. So yeah, be a bit more open-minded to the possibilities that may well arise as years progress, I think, as well.
Yeah, and I think as well, an important thing, don't feel trapped by your particular degree. Don't feel that just because you've put time and effort into getting a degree in a particular field that you necessarily have to go down that route, because one, that's very bad, sort of mentally, if you're not sure and you kind of you feel, it can really feel you locked into a path. And if you're not sure about that path, don't feel that you have to do it, because there are plenty of transferable skills you'll get from any degree. And it looks great on your CV, no matter what job you go for. For any degree, you have loads of skills about research, about talking, presenting. You learn lots, and you show that you have that dedication to achieve a degree as well, which is important to an employer. So don't feel trapped in there, because that can get very can make you think very narrow-mindedly, and can get quite frustrating as well. I mean, for me, for instance, I have a degree in history, but I always wanted to work with people, so I chose a career in the public sector. My degree, I had lots of skills about researching, analysis of data, critical thinking, looking at sources, and it transferred over really well. But I wanted to work. I didn't necessarily want to be a historian, but I loved history and I enjoyed it. But I wanted to work with people, so that's why I chose a career in the public sector. So that's just an example of thinking a bit outside the box of what I can do with my degree and fitting into what I wanted to do.
Yeah, really good way of looking at it. And you're absolutely right. I think too many people try and pigeonhole themselves. They think, just because I've done it's cool. So it now only means they're limiting themselves, aren't they? It now only means I can do X, Y, and Z as a career. Well, no, that's absolutely wrong. There's loads of, like you said, the transferable skills from academic study is huge. There's loads of skills that transfer into a multitude of different roles and jobs out there. So, yeah, be a bit more broader with your thinking, and don't put yourself down as well. There's a lot of capable people out there that might not necessarily have the skills on paper, but they've got other skills and other things that they can bring to roles that are, that other candidates may not have. There's two types of people, I would say, when it comes to graduates when they're looking for jobs. You've got, the first type that they've lived in this bubble and they think that the jobs are just going to come to them because they've got these qualifications now. They finish uni, right? Next step is get a job. That's person one. And then you've got person two who, kind of understands a bit more of the wider world. They know that the job market can be unfair. It's a dog eat dog world out there, as some people say. You've almost got to play the game a bit, haven't you? You've got to go out there, and it's hard grit, determination. You're almost hustling, really. You're doing what you need to do to get to where you want to be. And if that means you've got to go out and network, you've got to work hard. It might be you need to undertake another course in something else. It may be that you get some interview coaching, like one of the services we offer. It could be a multitude of different things that's going to get you on that next step, get you that job you want to do. And you're going to be in a much better position, aren't you? And have a greater chance of being successful than that first person that just sits there thinking, well, I've done my time at uni. If I keep waiting and waiting, something will come along eventually. And they don't put any more effort in. That's the wrong attitude. It's just not going to happen, is it?
No, it's like you say, competitive world out there. And as well, like always, a great bit of advice I once received was like, you want to come out of that interview knowing that you've done everything you can to get that job, because then you can't think, oh, well, I should have done this, should have done that. You've done everything you can. So it's important. And like you say, it's a competitive world out there, and you're like, it is difficult. It's not easy. And you do need that grit and determination to get through. Like you say, you'll be up against people, and it can be like whoever's hungriest for the job gets the job. Whoever's going to put the most effort into getting the job will get it. That's how it is. If you wait for things to come to you, it won't happen. I guarantee. Yeah,
and things have changed. That may well have been the case, sort of, decades ago, where you've got the degree. There's not as many people were getting academic qualifications. Degrees weren't as popular as they are now. But a great thing is that academic study has become more accessible to people. But on the flip side of that, it means there is more competition for jobs, and you can't just rest on your laurels and expect to get the job straight away purely for the fact you've now got the qualification. You need to go above and beyond that. So it is those people that go out there and use all their skills, all that experience they've built up, and are really, really motivated that will get further. Cool.
Yeah, definitely.
So, people might be asking, well, that's great. I know I lack direction. Yeah, but what do I do about it? How am I going to actually find what direction I've got? How am I going to, make that tough decision, choose that right route? So have you got any practical tips here for people then, Pete?
Yeah, definitely. So like the first one I would say, and I know there's a lot of writing stuff down, but it's so important. Like if you write stuff down, it's like you kind of made a contract with yourself and it's about making those thoughts real. Again, I know we always go, this is a bit out there. This is a bit, but it's true. It does work. It does work. Like say, so once you've had a thought about who you are, what you want, write down 3 goals you want to achieve in the first year, your 5 years, your 10-year plan. Write it down on a piece of paper. You have to write it down or it won't work. Write it down and then pin it on your wall somewhere you'll see it every day. And then
next to your vision board.
Next to your vision board, yeah. So you should see my wall. It's just plastered with different vision boards and goals. But it's good because it's all positive. Again, as well, it's putting you back in that positive frame of mind, that positive atmosphere from university. And it's all about that. So writing down those goals, when you want to achieve them, what you want to do, and it will happen. Okay. So that's the first bit of advice. Second bit of advice is around careers and recruitment events. See, I am a great fan. I've done this loads of times when I haven't had a job and after university as well. Go to a careers fair. it seems a simple one, but a lot of people, I don't think, still do it because they are great places. You can go and see lots of different careers in one place. You can talk to people that actually do the career and ask them questions, and then you can get a feel for whether you think you'd like it or not. Also, we talk about networking. What a great place to network. You go and see, I don't know, the guy that works for the Environmental Health Agency, for instance, and you say to them, oh, yeah, I'm really interested in the job. Can I have some work experience, please? And 9 times out of 10, these are positive places. They'll give it to you.
Or even if they can't, they'll give you the advice as to how, won't they? Which you wouldn't get just looking at a website necessarily. Exactly.
I know, like, we're just coming out of COVID times, but these career fairs are starting to come back in now. And they have them online as well. Online are good. They're accessible. I would say probably going in person as well. The act of going in person, it makes you feel good about yourself as well. Again, it increases that positivity because you're making a positive step. You're getting out there, you're getting out of your comfort zone and speaking to people as well. It's like you're speaking to your employers.
Developing those key soft skills that employers are going to look for.
Yeah.
Which you won't get online. Let's be honest. You have to get out there and do it.
Yeah, like if you feel like, obviously what we specialize in is people that feel anxious and nervous about interviews. This is a good way of pushing your comfort zone. I know it's not easy, but it's something you should do, and you kind of have to do to get in, like push through your comfort zone. Have a look at that person, at that careers advice fair that you want, and then you go up and speak to them. Challenge yourself, go up and speak to them again, because you'll get good careers, you'll get good advice from the area that are recruiting, but you're also speaking to someone as well in the job, so it's a good way to challenge yourself as well.
Yeah, and you're not committing yourself to anything, are you? You haven't lost anything. By going to speak to that person, you might come away feeling really anxious or be like, well, that was really awkward. Well, does it matter? You're not going to see that person again. Think of the developmental side of it as well. Like, you're getting out there, you're speaking to people, you're understanding what's out there, you're getting used to speaking to people. I think as well, those job fairs are really good at sparking ideas as well, because you might find something there that you didn't even know existed. I mean, I've been to a couple of them and I was like, I did not even know that role existed. Like, I went to one and it was like, the things you can train dogs to do these days is just outrageous. I was like, I didn't even realize you could train dogs to like search for, like you can make dogs search for microchips. It's like, I didn't even know they could do that. I didn't even know it was a job, Yeah,
exactly. But that's someone's job to do that. Yeah. And you probably didn't even know that. And it's like, I've been to them and I thought, wow, I didn't know what that job existed. And it just opens your mind up to all these opportunities that are out there. Like you say, you're not committing to anything. You're just going there and you're seeing what's out there. So it's a great thing to do to help you find direction.
And universities as well, they'll have their own internal job fairs a lot of the time, won't they? And careers fairs.
Yeah.
So, what's going on campus? Have a look, see what's up and coming.
Yeah, definitely.
I think another one that I think is really good, Pete, is the there's a website, isn't there, prospect.ac.uk, which I think is a website that's been created by all the higher education institutes, and there's a really good free quiz on there that you can match your skills and your personality to hundreds of job. I think something like 400 odd job profiles they have on there. A questionnaire, a little quiz. It's completely free, and then it will give you like a readout at the end of what job profiles more closely match your skills and personality that you've done through this questionnaire. So if you haven't done that, head over to prospect.ac.uk and give that a go. Highly recommend it. It may give you that little spark of inspiration you need to start going on your journey and find which path you want to go down.
Yeah, these things are brilliant. There's another one. There's National Careers Service as well, which is nationalcareers.service.gov.uk. They give skill assessments and careers advice. They're brilliant. Like, they're free tools that you can use to give you that bit of direction that you need. And again, like, I know those feelings of feeling lost and feeling with no lack of direction are really strong, but these are all little things you can do to start overcoming them. So don't just think, I'm not going to do that because it's not going to work. Do it, because it might just be that spark you need to push you over the edge and find what you want to do. Speaking of careers advisors, university as well, like, if you finish your university, if you're still at university, you definitely will have a careers advisor. But a lot of universities allow the alumni to use their career services as well. So even if you have graduated and you've left, a lot of them will still let you have like 20, 30-minute sessions, sometimes longer than that. I think sometimes they give you hour sessions where you can discuss career options, discuss career advice. These are fantastic. So these are professional people that can give you advice. Again, it's about pushing yourself at the comfort zone as well, making that phone call and speaking to people and getting that careers advice. Really, really good, solid way you can access the careers advice.
Yeah, either way, you're going to get value from that, you know, whether it is something career related or the fact that you're just going to boost your confidence and build that confidence in speaking to people and getting out of your comfort zone. Like you say, it's really worthwhile. There's a lot of information, a lot of advice out there. You know, it's there for the taking. Go and get it.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of it is free. So, you know, why not take it? Go out there, see what's out there and get that help. I think as well, we spoke about, you know, the structure of university and how by not having that is where people lack direction. There's a lot of things that you can do once you've left uni as well, I think, that resonate with what you that sort of lifestyle you would have had at university and that structure and the support you would have had at university. There's things you can do once you've left university as well, isn't there? You know, whether it's like joining a local club of something, taking up a hobby or joining a sports team, you know, having a close-knit group of friends that you can discuss things with, your friends' family, could be colleagues if you have got a part-time job or something, or you volunteer somewhere. I think it's really important to keep that up. What do you think, Pete? Yeah,
definitely. I think maintaining that, as I said, like when you leave university, it can be a big sort of culture shock because not everyone is that positive, and you're surrounded by positivity at university. But you can surround yourself with that positivity again, like you say, getting out there, going to clubs. Sorry, I meant sports clubs and things like that. Nightclubs are good as well, But yeah, sports clubs, voluntary work, anything like that, taking on a new course as well. There's loads of like local interest groups, things like that, and staying in contact with the people from university or your friends from university. Stay in contact with them, like keep up with each other, support each other, and carry on that positivity. We need more positivity in the workplace, so don't let it go. Just keep on with it as well.
Yeah, completely agree. I think you touched on it earlier. Yeah, because you have come from such a positive environment where everyone wants to succeed and be successful, and then suddenly you hit the big wide world and it's just not like that. It can be really easy to fall into the trap of being sucked into that negative mindset as well. So I think it's really important by doing some of these things we've mentioned there and keeping that momentum going, keeping that positivity going post-university, and when you are looking to enter the world of careers and jobs, that's really gonna boost you as a person and keep you fresh and always wanting to be positive and do new things and progress. So yeah, really important stuff there.
Yeah, and I think something else I'd probably like to add is, like, you know what, you only live once, and you only get so many times in your 20s, whenever you might have graduated at any age, really. Don't waste your time sort of worrying about like this lack of direction. It can be very frustrating, and it can be a bit soul destroying when you haven't got the direction that you want. But equally, you know what, life's for living and having fun as well. So don't let it drag you down so far that you get kind of that you get so frustrated about it that it can affect you enjoying the moment. Because you know what, it's like you will find this direction. Everyone feels like this at points in their life, and you will get there. It's just about hanging on in there, doing the tips that we've given you, and keeping positive. All right. I know sometimes you'll be like, oh, well, I still haven't got a job after this time. I still haven't got the career I want after this time. Doesn't matter. You will get there. Just hang on in there and you will get there.
Yeah, really, really powerful stuff, that, Pete. The analogy I always like to use is people often give up, don't they, when they're just about to get there? It's almost like a little seed poking through the ground. The seed's just below the surface. It's about to poke its little head out, and then it's just cut away. And it's almost like a lot of people are like, in this scenario, they just give up. But if they'd just gone that extra couple of steps, they would have got to where they need to be. I think as well, it's also worth sort of differentiating between a job and a career. You know, a job can be something, you can have multiple jobs. You know, you could get sacked from a job, you could leave a job, but your career is almost like your life's work. It's what you get up in the morning to do. It's what you want to do. It's what motivates you. It's what gives you that sense of achievement. You know, a job just pays your mortgage or pays your rent or your bills for that month, whereas a career is something you really work for. So don't be disheartened if you've got a job or you're not happy with it. You know, mix it up, change it up. It doesn't define who you are. There's always room to improve and develop and remain positive, like you say. Great. So I think we covered quite a lot there, Pete. Is there anything else you want to add throw into the mix that might help our listeners out there, or any final words? I
mean, just remember that you're not alone feeling like this, because I know we've had a bit of a laugh with this podcast, but it can feel lonely when you don't have that direction, and it can be frustrating, but you are not the only one, and you're not alone in thinking that. And it is perfectly natural and normal to think like that, and to be a bit daunted by it. So don't worry, keep positive and keep working hard, and you will get there.
Love it. Powerful words. I'm not going to add anything to that. I think you've really hit the nail on the head with that one, Pete. So, yeah, thanks for your time, everyone. Really appreciate you tuning in to listen to this podcast. If you have got some value out of it and you've enjoyed listening to what we've had to say, then please, if you've not already done so, check us out on Facebook. We've got a community group on there where we post really good advice, tips, and allow you to, you know, get involved and share your own personal opinions or worries, concerns you've got. It's really, you know, good community to discuss anything relating to, you know, university, interview practice and planning, career planning, competency-based interviews, all that kind of stuff. Lots of good stuff on there. So check us out, facebook.com/groups/the Grad Guys, or you can always find us at gradguys.com as well. And we'll see you very soon on the next episode. Take care.
Bye-bye.
We hope you found today's episode useful. If you did, then please be sure to leave a review, share, and subscribe. You can also join our Facebook community by searching The Grad Guys, and also by checking out thegradguys.com. See you next time.